Now, third level students will be charged the full $3,000 in college fees in the new academic year, even if their access to campuses is curtailed due to COVID. That is according to comments yesterday from Education Minister Norma Foley. Lorna Fitzpatrick, who's the president of the Union of Students in Ireland, joins me now to discuss. Lorna, what's your reaction to this?
Well, we're very disappointed. To be honest, the government really needs to show leadership here, and we've been calling for a minimum €500 reduction in the student contribution charge, and to have a plan to phase that out over a number of years. The current situation is our fee is €3,000 for a student contribution charge, which is the highest in the EU. And I suppose with everything that's going on, our system was underfunded to begin with. The education system was underfunded to begin with. With COVID, we're expecting, and it's been reported, that there could be up to a €500 million deficit. So it just goes to show that the situation up until now proved to be risky in terms of a financial strategy. And so there needs to be a broader conversation around the overall funding for higher education. But in the meantime, an immediate €500 reduction for students and their families would be very helpful.
In fairness, Lorna, you may be receiving less, as it were, because you're not having the full access to the campuses, but the colleges are delivering the same amount. They're still paying for lecturers, they're still paying for facilities, they're still paying for all of the costs that are associated with running the universities. Where do you see the money coming from in terms of who will pay? The taxpayers, the government? We're in precarious times financially.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think this is a broader discussion in relation to the overall value that we place upon education and how we view education. We believe that education is a public good and should be treated as such, and we've been calling for the introduction of publicly funded education as was outlined in the Cassell's report back in 2016, which would see us really take on that mantra of education being that public good. And I suppose the students today and the students that will come after us are the future. And so investing in education is essentially investing in that future. But the immediate reduction in the student contribution charge, we would ask for the state to cover that. The cost of it is about 39 million. And as I say, that would have to be as part of a broader plan around funding the sector adequately. And I suppose, as I say, that the current system obviously has proven to be risky when we are now looking at a €500 million deficit. So there really does need to be a broader discussion around this.
Would it not be the case that this year, Lorna, students would have lower costs themselves? A lot of students are going to be able to live at home, maybe only visit their college in Dublin or Galway or wherever once a week, or even possibly less than that. So in fairness, perhaps things like accommodation isn't going to be the big ask that we've seen in previous years. High rents for students have been a real difficulty. Is it not fair to say that potentially students are going to be a little bit better off this year?
Well, I think that there's two things at play here. I think this issue around the student contribution charge and the overall funding of the system is a conversation that needs to be had regardless of the time that students spend on campus, because it is a broader issue around how we value education. The second thing I suppose to note is that the vast majority of students don't actually realise or understand at the moment, because the institutions haven't been clear with them as to how regularly they are going to be expected to be on campus. So we still don't know whether people are going to have significant costs in terms of accommodation and other things like that, and because their timetables for the vast majority have yet to be released.
And lastly, are you hoping to get to speak to Minister Simon Harris? Are you looking for something specific from him apart from this cut that you're looking for from the registration fee?
Yes, we have been in discussions with Minister Harris, and we have requested this €500 reduction as part of the overall plan around introducing publicly funded education and discussing the entire system and how it is being funded, and so that will continue.
All right, look, thank you for that indeed. That is Lorna Fitzpatrick, their president of the Union of Students in Ireland.